of treason. He found him guilty. I'll show you where in a few moments. Actually, no, they tried him in here. See the big slate roof? That's Westminster Hall. That's where the Queen was lying in state before the funeral. That's from the original 11th century building, because it burnt down in 1834. That's the original 11th century. And they had a trial of Charles I, and they found him guilty, and they chopped off his head. I'm going to show you where in a few moments. 2 p.m. January the 30th, 1649, execution of the king, just above. And the monarchy was abolished. No monarchy. And Cromwell, he started off as a member of Parliament and a country gentleman, squire. And he, when the Civil War kicked off in 1642, he was put in charge of the cavalry. He was good with men, good with horses. But he rose, became a general, then the main general. And then when the king was executed, he was given the title Lord Protector, which is the king in all but name, around the country. It's only when he died in 1658, it all started to fall apart. And in 1660, they invited the dead king's son back to restore the monarchy, Charles II. So this is Parliament Square. All around the square you're going to see statues of British Prime Ministers, world leaders, but only those of a democratic bent, democratically minded. I'm going to show you Nelson Mandela's statue in a few moments. I don't know what they're doing, this is a mad diversion. This little grey church on the left here, light coloured church, this is St. Margaret's, consecrated in 1523, and it's the third church on the site. It's been the parish church for the House of Commons, right behind us, since 1614. Sir Winston Churchill married Lady Clementine Hosier here in 1908. So Sir Winston Churchill married right here. Sir Walter Raleigh is buried here. Well, most of them. His body is here. His head is with his family outside London. Crazy city. On the right you see, partially shadowed, statue of Nelson Mandela with his arms out. When the great man died, this statue became a shrine with piles of flowers laid around this when Mr. Mandela passed away. As I'm going to hand out tickets for the tower for this afternoon, I'm just going to hand out random bundles either side. I should just take one each and then pass them back. On the left is Supreme Court. Also on the left, standing by his, so right here, standing by his chair, right, is Daniel Day-Lewis. Sorry, Abraham Lincoln. Little actress joke. And the Oscar goes to. I was here a few years ago, and I said, Abraham Lincoln, great Democrat, because this is, as I said, Parliament Square, all democratically minded leaders. And an American Republican in the back shouted down, "He wasn't a Democrat." I said, "I didn't mean that. I'm not getting in the middle of this." Small D. So yeah. And we're going to see Winston Churchill in a moment. Yeah, on the right hand side. Yeah, so left up here in Whitehall, yeah. And then around Trafalgar Square and Strand. In front of us is the Treasury. Taxman. And up ahead, Big Ben. Now say Big Ben. Big Ben is the bell. What we're seeing here is the clock tower, the Elizabeth Tower. We're now entering Whitehall, central government. All the major government departments are here. All the major government ministries, including the Ministry of Magic. Any Harry Potter fans here? 3 of us, 4 of us. Around to the left in the Cabinet War off to the left, on the road, under a massive slab of concrete, is where Winston Churchill directed the war. Captain War Rooms. Really worth a visit. On the right, this monument, Cenotaph, where the royal family and the government, they read every November to commemorate death in past wars, Remembrance Sunday. On the left is Downing Street. Down there is where the Prime Minister lives, number 10. Hence, the people here with heavy weaponry. On the right-hand side, Ministry of Defence, nicknamed the Iceberg, because it's got more floors under the ground than it has on top. On the right, this is Banqueting House on the right. This is where they brought Charles I out of one of these windows and chopped off his head. Remember I said earlier? Just there. Execution of the King. On the left is Horse Guards. At the back is Horse Guards Parade. It's where you find the trimming of the colour for the monarch's official birthday every June. On the left, coming up now with the beige columns, is the old Admiralty building. Once the nerve centre of British naval power, just on the left here. It's all behind us now, the Ministry of Defence, all combined. And this brown and beige brick building on the corner, see here? You see Great Scotland Yard. Great Scotland Yard, that's where the Metropolitan Police Force are founded in 1829 by Sir Robert Peel, the then Home Secretary. Hence the name Augustine Peters in the old days. But here's the thing. The front of the building is here, well it was, it's gone now, Whitehall Place. But if you were going in to account for yourself, if you're being called in by the cops, by the police, you go through the back door. And the back door was on Scotland Yard. And Londoners would say, I've got to go to bloody Scotland Yard. I've got to go to the yard. So it became a slang name for Metropolitan Police, and it stuck. And that was the official name, because of the back door, Scotland Yard. So this is Trafalgar Square. Laid down in the 1830s and 40s on top of what was then the Royal Mews. Laid down to commemorate Admiral Horatio Nelson's victory over the combined French and Spanish fleets. The Battle of Cape Trafalgar, October 21st, 1805. So we're going up there by the church. That's Nelson up there in the column. You won't see it from here, you would have seen it before. On the left. And those big metal plates, each one is showing us a major victory of Nelson. Cape St. Vincent, Copenhagen, the Nile, and of course Cape Trafalgar. That magnificent building on the left with the dome and the yellow banners, that's the National Gallery. That's got the greatest collection of Italian Renaissance art outside of Italy. Admission free, you gotta go. This is the National Portrait Gallery on the corner. Again, admission free. Great collection of portraits, the great and the good from English history. On the left, St. Martin in the Fields Church. Built in the 1720s when these were fields. And this is the parish church of Buckingham Palace. All the royal births are recorded in here. And this is Charing Cross station on the right hand side. And we're now on the Strand. You probably wonder why it's called the Strand and there's no beach or river nearby. Well, the River Thames is down to the right. It's a few hundred meters away. It used to be a lot closer, hence the name Strand. 1858 in London was known as the year of the big stink. The houses got toilets for the first time, but there was no sewage system. There was only a rainwater drainage system that went into the rivers to supply the Thames. These rivers became full overnight of doo-doo, which meant that the Thames became full of human waste. The smell was so great in 1858 that they almost left the House of Parliament. Instead, what they did was they draped the windows in material soaked in chlorine of lime to keep the smell out, and got Joseph Baskerville to build for the first time in the world a sewage system for the whole city. Amazing, the Victorians. Before I carry on, look around to the right in a moment. You're going to see the very famous Savoy Hotel, just around to the right. So they reclaimed a third of the river. They went about a third of the way in. They drove big posts into the riverbed. They joined them up with waterproof material, sucked the water out, and built the sewage system for the whole city. 19th century. They're now building a super sewer, which I'll show you from the boat later on. Area to the left, behind these buildings, is called Covent Garden. It's got a piazza, pedestrian ice squares, the oldest in London. It's from 1631 by Inigo Jones. Home to the Royal Opera House, Transport Museum, cafes, bars, lovely place to have lunch to start the evening. And around to the right, very famous Savoy Hotel. Straight ahead. See that church up ahead? That's called St. Mary in the Strand. Do you remember Charles Dickens, the Victorian writer, Oliver Twist? His parents got married in that church because Mr. Dickens Sr. was working in Somerset House on the right hand side of it as a clerk. On the left, Lyceum Theatre, showing the Lion King. Do you remember Bram Stoker, the Dracula author? He was the stage manager.